Okay, y'all. So I'm sitting back minding my business and I see the drama between Jack TV. So if you don't know, Jack TV is this popular YouTuber. He used to have a couple channel with his ex, and they had the couple channel. It was big. They did pranks, all kind of different things. And so they both kind of pivoted and started doing their own content. So Jack, he now does like loyalty tests, and on this show, he his old friend Gabe was on there, and he would work as security. He would also be like a decoy. So it's like loyalty tests where you're testing people relationships, seeing if they're going to be unfaithful, that type of stuff. So Gabe came out and he did a video and said, it kind of basically exposing Jack, and was like, he looked at Jack as his brother, and apparently Jack didn't look at him that way. And I guess there was an expectation at some point from Gabe that Jack would put him on and help him like grow his YouTube channel and his platform as well. But from what Gabe said, it was like Jack looked at him as competition and didn't really want to help push Gabe content, because he's like, hey, you trying to go up against me and be a competitor. And so that's when Gabe had to take a step back and be like, hey, is this person really my friend, my brother, that you would want to stop my emotion and stop me from like elevating? And he's like, I'm not trying to take from you, I'm just trying to sit at the same table as you, which people tend to get to that point. But I just want to offer my perspective on it. So I think most people who have been tuning in to the drama can honestly say, yes, Jack TV was wrong, because Gabe came out and said that Jack wasn't even paying him, that a lot of that stuff he was doing free. He said out of all of the videos that he did, between being a decoy, security, sometimes being both in one video, he only made about $1,300 during his entire time working on the show. So he was just saying, just kind of exposing him, and it has caused the internet to go absolutely crazy. But I also want to offer a different perspective. So yeah, Jack is wrong, nobody's defending that, but I also want to offer a different perspective and say, with Gabe, I think that's where you shouldn't have went into it with that mindset of, oh, this is my brother, oh, this is my friend, he's gonna do right by me. Implementing from the beginning that compensation, making sure you're getting paid, you're getting, what you deserve. And if you knew, like, early on, like, hey, he's not really paying me, that conversation should have came up sooner rather than later, so that it would have not been where things are now. But people always say people don't want you doing better than them, and I can see it from both perspectives. I definitely just think that, Gabe, moving forward, you need to create your own lane. Don't depend on somebody else pushing you through, especially as adults. We can't depend on that. We have to just push through and create our own lane. There's so much free game and free knowledge out here when it comes to YouTube and building channels, whether you get on Google, ChatGPT, YouTube itself, TikTok, other different platforms. There's so much free game out here to learn, and a lot of it too is kind of like trial and error, putting things out there and having to see what works for you, because something that works for someone else may not work for you. So Jack was wrong. I do feel like Gabe should have addressed some of these issues earlier on, to not have things kind of get to where it is. And yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole situation. You guys tell me what you think. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.